I was umming and ahhing whether to do a video today, but I am going to take you along with me just because it's such an effort to get to this mountain, and it's a summer image I've had in my head ever since I did the Welsh 3000s actually. So I want to photograph Ear Ellen just on the flank of Carneddau, Llewellyn, and I've had it in my head that it's a summer sunset shot and slap bang in the middle of summer. So I'm hoping today I can guess it. I just don't know, wasn't really in the mindset to do a video, but I can't not take you along with me just in case it does kick off. I've got to go over Carneddau, over Carneddau, Llewellyn, and on the flank to the other side, which I'm hoping the sun's going to set to the right of Ear Ellen. I'm kind of using a noggin rather than photo pills, which I probably should use. But yeah, so like I said, it's a tough pull up to Carneddau, Llewellyn, and then it's a long kind of ridge walk all the way to where I need to be, which is probably going to be another 2 miles, 2.5 miles from here, maybe 2 miles. But yeah, it should be pretty spectacular, and it's very seldom photographed because it's such a kind of effort to get to this mountain. So you very rarely see any. You see pictures of it, but you very rarely see any photographs done by photographers of it, just because it's pretty difficult to get to. Looking forward to it. I can't stress to you the contrasting conditions from the last time I was on this ridge. Last time we approached it from Bethesda up the flank of Carneddau, hoping to go to the summit. We had to come to Carneddau, Llewellyn to seek refuge. In fact, what I'm going to do, because I did actually vlog that, I'm going to give you 5 minutes of winter hell. Because we were caught in some of the most brutal weather I've ever been in, and I vlogged it, but I've not really kind of put anything out. So I'm going to give you 5 minutes of this before I bring you back to slightly calmer summer conditions. Yeah, very different. We're going to skirt around Carneddau, head straight for Carneddau, Llewellyn, as there is a summit shelter there which we'll go into if the weather gets worse, with the added bonus we can shoot into the Ogwen Valley and a nice view of Trivon if it clears and the light comes through. Then we'll head to Carneddau and down from there. So we're traversing Carneddau at the moment, bit of a slog. We're just missing the weather system. See it just from the north. It's kind of hitting the northern peaks over to Drum, I think, and a few of the ones above Aber Falls, and we're just missing them. They're going to hit us sooner or later though. Definitely. Right, we're just on the ridgeline and that weather has engulfed us. Still hope you can hear me, but this is absolute whiteout conditions. If I flip you around, eventually anyway, you can just see how it's just come in, and you can easily get lost in these conditions. Hail to me. So we're going to make our way to the cairn from Carneddau. and wait for this to pass. That has to be one of the worst snowstorms I've ever been in. Me and Luke were in complete whiteout conditions. Everything on me's frozen. With great difficulty we've reached the cairn, the shelter on Penny-Rollowan, just ducking out of the wind now. It said it's going to clear, but yeah, if worse comes to worse and it doesn't, we're going to head down Penny-Rollowan. We know that route back, and we'll have to find, we get to the road, we'll have to find our way back via other means. Luckily we've both been on the mountains a lot, so as extreme as it is, we're kind of ready for it. So if we don't get the images we're after, the main thing is we'll be down off the mountain one way or another. In this cairn now, gonna get some food, drink, and yeah, that is incredibly extreme. The snow and hail was hitting us from behind, and it felt like paintballs just coming at you from behind, and if we were going in the opposite direction, it's coming straight in our faces. Yeah, pretty wild. Anyway, get something to eat here and reassess. It's a real dark, brooding cloud just above my shoulder. The dynamic range on this is terrible, so it just looks like a blown out sky, but you can just see it there, so that's maybe a sign of things to come. Just see Penmon Lighthouse in the distance, probably about 10 miles from here as the crow flies, roughly, maybe a bit more. I've been there a few times over the last few weeks, just seeing if I can try and capture the bioluminescent plankton. Just give up with the place though, it's just become quite toxic, the atmosphere there, people kind of rallying for position and not getting in each other's way, and it's just kind of, it's not why I do landscape photography. Just being in the crowds and just kind of literally fighting for images comes across as pretty sad and gives the landscape photography world a pretty bad name. A couple of my friends have been there, they've got nice images, and then other people suddenly get jealous and it all blows up. It's like, be bothered with that. I'd rather come here, give it a wide berth, and just enjoy the kind of serenity and remoteness of where I'm going today. Yeah. Anyway, that's my rant done for the day. That's a ridge line I'm going to follow down, and then go down the slope, pretty much follow the lake back, and there's a long road that takes me back to the A5, and then it's a long walk back from there. I just think that's going to be a lot easier. Yeah, it's going to be a lot easier than going back this way, because it'll be a hell of a long walk back. The weather's changing slightly, there's a lot of cloud on the horizon, so whether we get that kind of sunset light, I don't know, but what it is giving us is atmosphere, and we won't, at the very least, it won't be a boring bland sky, but I get something to work with. Nearly at where I want to be now. I'm just taking my time just so I get there and not wasting around. But the views are pretty impressive, and the Carneddau's got quite a conception that they're like rounded kind of tame hills, but from this side Carneddau just rises straight out of the ground, and it looks really dramatic. I'll show you some footage of that just when the light's a bit less harsh. But yeah, it suddenly becomes kind of a different ball game once you kind of get past Carneddau. The landscape changes, and it is as dramatic as anywhere in Snowdonia. Like I said before, it's just a bit longer to get to. Just topped off on Carneddau. I've come to the other side and there's clouds swirling around all the, I guess it's the northern Carneddau, and these are more rounded hills, but all the low clouds coming in, and it really does look spectacular. I'm kind of hoping it swirls around them and doesn't just block them off and get rid of the views. The view I want, I'm not too far away from now, but yeah, it's really kind of atmospheric. As soon as I've kind of come over the brow of the mountain onto the other side, it looks really incredible. Oh, I'll tell you what, that is not a straightforward mountain to get to. Probably one of the most remote in Wales. The Ellen is probably more remote. But yeah, you do feel like you've put in the hard yards. But it's really cool. All these clouds are just really are amazing. I'll try and show you some footage now. It really is incredible. This is Ellen behind me. It's got to be one of the best views in Snowdonia, this, in Wales in fact. It's a hard place to get to, but Ellen's got such a kind of prominent position from here. You'd argue it's one of the most prominent mountains, again in Snowdonia, but quite hard to get to, and then the valley to the right, which is going to let loads of light in after, hopefully. Unfortunately, the face of Ellen is completely away from the sun, so I don't think it's going to get any light. I think you have to be here for sunrise, for which you'd have to camp, because it's such a kind of a hard place, not hard place to get to, just a very kind of long place to get to. But I'm still going to hope I can get some nice images at sunset, because I've worked hard to get here. Yeah, the cloud just rolling over the northern Carneddau now, stunning. What a beautiful area. Just been shooting into Afon Caseg, so I'm assuming it's Nant Caseg. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the light that is spilling in, and there's loads of clouds giving the image depth and atmosphere, and it's getting more and more golden. So I've kind of ignored it, Ellen, at the moment, just to zoom in on that light that was coming in. It looked really nice. The valley's beautiful, and the light streaming through makes it even better. So as you can tell, it's got a lot colder, a lot windier. So I always dress for the mountains as if it's winter, even in midsummer, because you never know when you're going to need the layers. So there's a tip for you. Anyway, enjoy the image. Yeah, temperature's definitely dropped. Anyway, that sun is going to probably go behind a big bank of cloud soon, which in a way suits me because I can get off the mountain a bit earlier in good light. I've just found one more image. I'll overlay the footage now, but I've got these nice kind of green, I think it's like a smaller version of bracken or something in the foreground, but it's got a slight arrow shape and it mimics the shape of Ellen ever so slightly. So it's a nice little foreground linked to the background. I always try and link my backgrounds to my foregrounds to make the image work more. And the sun in the right hand side. It's going to take a lot of editing, a lot of like bracketing and focus stacking was involved to make it work, which is all the boring stuff you don't need to know. Unless you want, leave a comment if you want to kind of know how I do it. But yeah, that's the image I'm going to put up now, and I'm pretty happy with it. Only I can't see the result. It's kind of like, it's a bit like a jigsaw, this one. You're kind of piecing it together image by image. It's not until you get back home, edit it, that you kind of see whether it's worked. What a beautiful area though. I think that's going to be my final image from here. So I'd like to think I've got two decent images, one zoomed in into the Afon Caseg and one the Ellen in the Stowry show. Right guys, I'm done. Hell of a long walk back from here now. But going the Carneddau route means it's 20% dodgy path and 80% good path and road back to the car. Gone back on myself, it was totally vice versa. 80% kind of a route you can get lost on, and it's just plus stuff on your legs. It's up, down, this is straight down. So it's a long way back. Just had another burst of light then, unexpected, on Carneddau. I rushed to get an image. It's alright, because I rushed and I was in kind of panic mode. It wasn't the best, couldn't really video it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I wasn't going to do one, but in the end I'm happy I have, just because it's such a breathtaking view looking back to Ellen. We get off the hill, get off the kind of sketchy part going down, and get back to the car. If I get any more images on the way or any scenery, I'll show us at the end of the video. If you have liked it, why not like and subscribe as well? It'll help the channel out. I put a lot of effort into getting out and about and filming these on top of my job as well. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. See you soon.